Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Shri Radha Madhava ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Brahmanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 18. Prithu Maharaj milks the earth planet, text 9 to 10. Vatsam kalpaya me vira. Vatsam kalpaya me vira. Yenaham vatsalatava. Yenaham vatsalatava. Dokshye kshiramayan kaman. Dokshye kshiramayan kaman. Dokshye kshiramayan kaman. Anurupam cha dohanam. Anurupam cha dohanam. Anurupam cha dohanam. Okay. Dohanam. Vatsam kalpaya me vira. Yenaham vatsalatava. Dokshe kshiramayan kaman. Anurupam cha dohanam. Vaishnavis. Vatsam kalpaya me vira. Yenaham vatsalatava. Dokshe kshiramayan kaman. Anurupam cha dohanam. Vatsam kalpaya me vira. Yenaham vatsalatava. Dokshe kshirayaman kaman. Anurupam cha dohanam. So then there is a second verse. Doktaram cha mahabaho bhutanam bhuta bhavana anam ipsitam urjasvam bhagavan vanchate yadi. So Vatsam, who knows what it means? Vatsa? Calf, yes. Kalpaya, arrange. Me, for me. Vira, oh hero. Yena, Yena, by which? Aham, I. Vatsala, affectionate. Tava, your. Dokshye, shall fulfill. Kshiramayan, in the form of milk. Kaman, desired necessities. Anurupam, according to different living entities. Cha, also. Dohanam, milking pot. Doktaram, milkman. Cha, also. Mahabaho, almighty armed one. Bhutanam, of all living entities. Bhuta Bhavana, O protector of the living entities. Annam, food grains. Ipsitam, desired. Urjavat, nourishing. Bhagavan, your worshipable self. Vanchate, desires. Yadi, if. Translation. O great hero, protector of living entities, if you desire to relieve the living entities by supplying them sufficient grain, and if you desire to nourish them by taking milk from me, you should make arrangements to bring a calf suitable for this purpose, and a pot in which the milk can be kept, as well as a milkman to do the work. Since I will be very much affectionate towards my calf, your desire to take milk from me will be fulfilled. Purport. These are nice instructions for milking a cow. The cow must first have a calf, so that out of affection for the calf, she will voluntarily give sufficient milk. There must also be an expert milkman and a suitable pot in which to keep the milk. Just as a cow cannot deliver sufficient milk without being affectionate to a calf, the earth cannot produce sufficient necessities without feeling affection for those who are Krishna conscious. Even though the earth being in the shape of a cow may be taken figuratively, the meaning herein is very explicit. Just as a calf can derive milk from a cow, all living entities, including animals, birds, bees, reptiles, and aquatics, can receive their respective foods from the planet Earth, provided that human beings are not asat or adrita vrata, as we have previously discussed. When human society becomes asat or ungodly or devoid of Krishna consciousness, the entire world suffers. If human beings are well behaved, animals will also receive sufficient food and be happy. The ungodly human being, ignorant of his duty to give protection and food to the animals, kills them to compensate for the insufficient production of grains. Thus no one is satisfied, and thus the cause for the present condition, and that is the cause for the present condition in today's world. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gyananjana-shalakaya Chakshumilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Bhangung Langayatim Kirim Yat Kripatamang Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Dina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swavadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, Prabhupada speaks here about the problematic situation of today's world, in which or the base of this problematic situation is the ungodly nature of human beings. And through this, people become so problematic for everyone and everything, more or less, for other people, for the world, for nature, for themselves. More or less ungodly means out of sync with goodness, right? And through this, of course, everyone suffers. Everything suffers, yeah, when we are not behaving good. So ungodly means good, not good, yeah. And I just wondered now, because I was thinking, if everyone would live like a devotee, let's say like devotee, more or less like we are living, right? what would happen with the economy? Would we become more rich or more poor? Because nowadays there's so much, because of all the needs people have, there's so much economic activity, and through which there's also a lot of wealth created and also a lot of money exchange and all that, so people can profit from that. But if there are no desires, as devotees don't have desires, or we don't do so much, more or less, we don't do so much, we don't buy so much, we don't consume so much, actually. Right? I don't consume so much because there is not so much need. Yeah, I don't have to go out every day or the weekend and go to a party or club and spend money. I don't have to buy so much clothes. I don't have to buy, all the things, whatever the people are buying. 90% of all the things you can buy in Passau is not of interest to me, more or less. Not really, yeah. So if everyone would live like this, no one would go shopping. Oh, not no one. Of course we go shopping, but not so much. So then all these shops have to close. And they don't produce all the things anymore. And meaning also many laborers, they have no work anymore. They are poor then. No money. So will this lead to a complete crisis? I wonder, is it bad actually for the economy? Is it bad for the world from an economic point of view to become a devotee? Or would it balance out in other ways? Yeah, or would it balance out in other ways? Because if you don't have so many requirements, you don't have to produce all the things, and people are anyway more content. You have more time in one sense. Actually, you have more time. And the things you need, you anyway have, you have your food, you have this and that, and the other economies will come up, like this one. This is another economy which comes up. Don't see? Subar cannot see what it is in the back. You can see this?
I think so.
What is it?
But I'm not sure. For me, it looks a little bit like yin and yang. But
Okay, you're too far away. You can see? Yeah, you can see. You have good eyes. Yeah. You can see Muni? Okay, but he was right. It's one Narasimhadev. Picture of Narasimhadev. When you come closer, you see the lion head. It's just a lion head. So my wife produced this. And many of these, lots of them actually, in all kinds of pictures and size and earrings. Not so interesting. I thought, earrings, yeah, or it's not earring, it's not a ring, it's like something to hang. Not so interesting for the man actually, also for my online shop, but then complete wrong. Because a good husband and man is always hunting for presents for his wife. So actually, it's for the man. Oh, you want a nice devotional present, earrings, hangers. She will be very happy, very beautiful. So, marketing, yeah. So then another economies come up, but definitely not in a way as from a materialistic point of view. Definitely not. Devotees don't have so many desires. So I just wonder. How would this work out for the wealth production of the world if everyone becomes more or less desireless or have little desires. Because what actually a real devotee wants, does he want to do? He actually wants to meditate on Krishna. He doesn't want to do this, that. Actually wants to meditate because he's more active in consciousness, inside himself. And this is where he gets the pleasure. And in the outside world, so to say, outside of himself, not outside of the community, often we say outside of the community is a kind of this cultish consciousness, actually. Die Welt da draußen, die böse Welt, and we are good. No, outside of himself, this world, he doesn't want to engage so much. Yeah, it pulls him in. He might pull him in, but pull him in all kinds of things. It might distract him from his consciousness. So a devotee wants to be more internal. He wants to be conscious of Krishna. Or if he engages in the world, he wants to do it in a Krishna conscious way, meaning go out of his consciousness, engage in the world to bring other people to their internal consciousness. You know what I mean? Yeah, he goes out to help facilitate. Okay, okay, you go also internal, and then when it's done, okay, I also go internal. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is actually what a devotee wants to do. Is where he takes the most pleasure. So not so much need for all kinds of stuff. It's most, as Prabhupada says, simple living, high thinking. This is actually the thing. Simple living, high thinking. Don't need so many things. So, yeah, and Prabhupada speaks here on the ungodly nature of human beings. And yeah, this is obvious that when we come out of this goodness, this inner goodness, and go farther and further away, many bad things come out of that, and we can see in the world nowadays. You just read the newspaper, better not read the newspaper. Anyway, nobody reads newspaper anymore. It's just on the smartphone. Yeah, before there was newspapers, lots of paper. Now mostly it's online. And there are so many terrible news. It's just terrible. It's actually terrible. The news means just bad news. Rarely there are good news. Really. Or so, and this news companies, they live from this bad news. It's way easier to sell bad news than good news. It's more attractive. It's somehow rather more attractive, right? Yeah, there's so many terrible things are happening, and these things are happening, and some people are doing, and then you think, my God, how can people do that? How can people do that? And we shouldn't be arrogant and think, oh, I will never do bad things. And of course, many crazy things can happen also to you, that you come into a weird living situation of life, that you do really terrible things. Might happen, but from my situation right now, it's hard to imagine to do all this murder and crime. You know, it's very hard to imagine. So it's an ungodly world, and there are also ungodly systems. Ungodly systems, the whole infrastructure or the whole governmental systems, they are ungodly. They are not governing for a divine cause. But I always have to think, because Prabhupada criticizes this a lot, that the governments don't take care about the spiritual life of the people, right? But in Kali Yuga, this is very problematic. Because how could a government, of course, is another philosophical and also social, who needs a philosophical social study maybe. I just want to say, because normally the religion was the emphasizer of the spiritual development of people. And in the past, very often, government and religion went together. Very often it was the case. And in the West, I don't know the exact history, but somewhere or other it happened. There was a clear separation and then a conscious separation between that, religion and government. And that's what we call secular, which is, they would say it's like advancement. But from another point of view, of course, you can criticize that, because who will take care now of the spiritual development of people if it's not, in one sense, managed by the government for the masses? And they did that also because religions are quite repressive, can be quite repressive. So are we happy with secular state or not? Of course, it depends. If the government can administer spirituality and religion in a, let's say, good way, okay, no problem. But if it's in a bad way, then of course I'm happy that I'm not living in a religious state. Especially if I want to practice a religion which is not the religion of the state, of course. Yeah. So actually the government must be very wise to understand the real principle of religion. Then there would be no problem, because it will further the good of the people, no matter what the religion is. And there we definitely can separate between religion and spirituality. It can go hand in hand, but sometimes it's not. Because if religion is, especially if it's politically motivated, or socially motivated, or economically motivated, it will not take care of the spiritual good of the person. It will oppress you with this religion to stay in the system, and will even kill you. Right? There are many oppressive states in the world, have been, not just from a religious point of view, just political, like a communist state. Sometimes they were very oppressive, definitely. Yeah. but also these religious oppressive states. It's bad. Especially bad for those of other religion, if you have another religion. And yeah, that was more or less, as I can see, maybe you can correct me, I don't know of the ancient Egyptian or Aztec world, I don't know how it was in South America, like pre-Christianity, how they handled that. I don't know, interesting actually, how are they doing, how religiously free were the Aztecs or the Mayas or the Incas, I don't know. But as we see in the Western world with the Abrahamic traditions, Christianity and especially Islam, they are quite oppressive. Quite oppressive. Because, like, it's also interesting now, there's people say, how do you call it? What was it? I forgot. Anyway, now because of this influence, not international, but there's a certain influence in the Western worlds, a lot because of Islam, let's say like this, Islam is quite strong nowadays, and now people feel a bit threatened, the Western cultures feel a bit threatened, and now they are actually saying we have to defend the Christian lands, right? There's often and also those who have never been in any way practicing Christianity. Because I even heard it from my father once, He said, I said, Father, you never go to church? What do you have to do with the Christian land? It's just because of this kind of threat. No, Christianity, you're not a Christian at all, But in one sense, it's true. There's like a cultural, Christianity is like a cultural base of the Western world, definitely has lots of influence. But because of this influence, they go back to these traditions. And what I want to say, anyway, that these religions were quite oppressive. Christianity especially, and Islam also, and are still very oppressive. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Because now they call themselves Christians in Europe also, Germany, Austria. But they haven't been Christians forever, right? They have been actually, as Christians call them, heathens, Heiden. You say Heiden. It's kind of a derogatory term, right? Die Heiden, die Ungläubigen. No, they are not they're not the unbelievers. They just don't believe what you believe, right? But for them, it's like this is the only belief, and who's not believing that, whatever you believe, is unbelief. Die Ungläubigen, Heiden. And then the Christian had to conquer the Heiden. But it was actually crazy how Christianity was oppressive with all other kinds of religions, right? When they came into power, and then they conquered more or less. Of course, it started with this one king. What was his name? Who made the first Christian state religion? Constantine, right? Constantine. He was the first. He converted from, I don't know what it was. He converted to Christianity, and then he made Christianity a state religion, right? And then he more or less said, everyone has to be Christian, right? And then it started, and whoever was not Christian, and then they went really with the sword. They went with the sword, especially also to these lands. And all these ancient cultures and tribes and religions which were there in Northern Europe, they were just, eradicated. Yeah. And Islam the same. Islam is a religion of the sword. It's not a religion. Of course, it has some peace in it too, right? This is some religion and prayer, and but this is also a very politically motivated religion. So, and if such religions which have like a political ambition, a strong political ambition, it misses the point. Yeah, and they think it's good if I put the sword on your head and say, pray now to Allah, or I chop your head off. They think it's good because if you don't pray to Allah, your life is anyway useless. So I can end it now anyways, right? So, so they have kind of strong understanding. It's not an argument, but it's a conviction. But then of course many people also in Christianity in the past when they were just praying because my priest said if I don't pray I will go to hell and will burn there forever. Okay, not Hare Krishna. Oh yeah, my dear God, and go to church and all that. So I don't say there is no good in a certain social, I will not call it pressure, but like a need for conformity, and we do as the others do. And of course, community has also this regulating principle, so to say. It's good, but if it's really only oppressive, only forcing against your will and all that, what's the point? Because spirituality, religion actually, religion should be spirituality, should be practiced out of free will. I like to do that. Yeah, and there might be some power or force against my free will, but this should be also according to your free will. Meaning, yes, I agree to be forced to my spiritual good. Because sometimes I know I need a little push, but I understand this is good. But if it's against my core convictions and belief, then the religion cannot work. So in that sense, secular states are very good, because the religions mess it up. So better leave people alone with religion. Bad religion. You know, there was a punk band, no? Bad religion. Their logo was the cross, which was crossed. Like a sign, like a street sign with the cross crossed. You know, it's called Bad Religion. It was a punk band. And in that sense, yeah, I'm good, you know, leave me alone with your religion. Yeah. Even though I say that as a very religious person. Yeah, in that sense, yeah, because religion should be practiced in a free way. Yeah. And also I actually in my work, as also a preacher and a teacher, I really don't like to force people into my spirituality. I try to explain it in a very free and rational way, and that the person really out of their own will says, yes, I want to be a devotee. But not force them in any way, because I don't like that. Yeah, when I came to Krishna consciousness, I did it out of my free will, and I wanted to practice and learn, and if someone would force me, I would not like that. Maybe you know that when you go shopping, in the past it was like that for me. When I went shopping in some mall or something, and then this seller comes to you and says, "Can I help you?" I hated it. You know, he was also agreeing. I know what I want. You know, I don't need you sell me anything, right? Some are a little bit averse to that, so I'm going to feel that. Now it's a bit different for me, because maybe I'm more personal, and now I know I can handle the person, and so I say, oh no, it's a good thing, or something. Yes, thank you. I need some advice here or there. Maybe I'm more humble now, not so averse against them. Yeah. Anyway, but free will is very, very important in spiritual life. Yeah, but so more or less the humans nowadays, they mess up anything and everything. Yeah? They mess up all the good things, like religion, wisdom, knowledge about God. What can be bad about that, in one sense, right? God, the all good, knowledge about the all good must be all good. Practice of this knowledge must be all good. But people are so degraded in Kali Yuga that they mess up even the absolute good. And how can you mess up the absolute good, and make it bad? But this is Kali Yuga. As in Bhagavad Gita, it's also said that the demons, they don't know what has to be done and what has not to be done. Yeah? There are certain things which should not be done. They are not good. You should not do that. And there are certain things, they are good. You should do that. And people in Kali Yuga, they don't know that. They cannot distinguish this, what is clearly to distinguish. It's obvious. But we don't check it. We don't get it. We turn sometimes around. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita it said, when you switch that, then you're completely in ignorance. And you say the bad thing is very good, yeah, and the good thing, oh, that is very bad. But it's also very often happening. No? Very often. It's very good to go and beat up these people. It's very good. They are from another soccer club. They have their other colors, so we beat them up. Yes, that's very good. or go on the weekend to some bar or something, and yes, another Jack Daniels, very good. Yes, more Jack Daniels, that's very, very good. And of course, it's not good. Huh? And all this, oh, yeah, kill another cow and let's eat it. Very good, a very good cow. Today I ate a very good cow. Yeah, this is the situation. Yeah, this is the situation. And our job is now to become good ourselves. There are so many ungood things. You know, we can go on criticizing the world and the people, the stupidity of the people. It's unlimited. Wasn't there one saying by Einstein or someone who said, two things are unlimited: the size of the universe and the stupidity of the people. I think he said that something like this. You know, the universe seems to be unlimited, and it's true. People can be quite stupid, but we shouldn't go on and criticize the stupidity of the people and society and all that. It's good to be aware of it, but we should more criticize our own stupidity. This is actually what a devotee wants, because he understands I'm stupid myself. There are so many stupid things in me, so many stupid tendencies, ways of thinking, ways of feeling, irrational things happening. And I myself, I'm also ungodly. It's not that I can speak here from a very godly position. Yes, I'm so godly, and all ungodly, all you sinners. And no, the devotee is actually is taking all these informations to improve himself. So where am I ungodly? Where are my ungodly tendencies? And where I'm not humble enough, where I'm not dedicated enough, where I'm too lazy. Like laziness is actually very ungodly. To not be eager to serve. Because it's the nature of the soul is to serve. And laziness means, no, I don't want to serve. I don't want to do anything for others. No? I want to just relax. But you were relaxed now. You were sleeping like 6, 7, 8 hours. You were relaxing. How much relaxing do you want a day? Oh, I need some relaxation. It's enough now. We are very lazy, actually. Actually, we are lazy. I need a relaxation. You sleep every day, 6 to 8 hours. This is like 1/4 of the whole day, or 1/3 even. 1/4, or isn't it? 24 divided to 6 is 4, right? And 24 divided to 8 is 3, isn't it? So 1/4 to 1/3 of the day you are relaxing. How much relaxation do you want? Still need? Do we need, let's say like this? Huh? Oh, I need to relax now. Well, what? To relax more? How much? Half? You want to have half? 12 hours a day relaxation, or what? Or 18 hours? Or what do you want? 24 hours? What do I want? What is relaxation anyways? What is this? You know, what does, So that means we are lazy. And this is said in Bhagavatam, that humans in Kali Yuga are very lazy. This their purpose of life is relaxation. This is like, oh, I want to relax. Relax from relaxing, or I don't know, what's, you know. And when you ask people, what do you want to be in the next life? 90%, not 90, but let's say 50 at least percent say, I want to be a cat. Because it's the perfection of relaxation. You know, my cat is always relaxed. It's always sleeping. It's always doing its own thing, jumping around, eating, going hunting a bit, and then relaxing. This must be the perfect life. Yes? It must be a perfect life. Be a cat. Cat life. Maybe it's like that, you know. Maybe the spiritual world actually is a whole cat world, you know. We become cats there. You know? It will happen. You become a cat in the spiritual world. Great. Yeah. But this is not very ecstatic. It's quite boring. Relaxation is only nice if you are always in tension. If you experience your life always as troublesome and burdensome and intense and tense, of course, it's more or less suffering. More or less suffering. If you're only suffering, if you perceive your life as suffering, of course you want to stop this suffering and, oh no, it's terrible. I need some relaxation. This is too intense. But if you do it right, your life is inspired and nice and great, and you don't want to relax. You don't want, it's the worst thing to relax, because then you're not doing what you love to do. Relaxation is actually suffering, because it stops you from doing what you love to do and what inspires you and what makes you happy. Why you want to stop that? That's why Prabhupada said, sleeping is a waste of time. Even that kind of relaxation is a waste of time. Yeah. So, when you have to relax all the time, that means you are actually not happy. Because your relaxation is your happiness. Oh, this makes me happy, relaxation. Yeah. Of course, there should be some relaxation. You go to sleep, the body gets rejuvenated through sleeping, and then, wow, another day, it's nice. Carpe diem. Yeah, it's great to do your mission. And there are many people, like also in the material field, they are super inspired. They don't want to relax. Their work is their love. They love their work. They love to do that. Right. And you want to do something, you have a mission, you have a purpose, you have a project, and it's wonderful, you want to do that. And we have that, we have Krishna consciousness. You have to love doing your service. You don't want to stop reading the Bhagavatam, you don't want to stop chanting Hare Krishna, you don't want to stop serving the Lord, you don't want to stop doing your service. It's great. Yeah. So if you want to relax, then think about your life. What's going on in my life? Why do I want to relax all the time? Yeah, it's not ideal. So, but back to my point, ungodly tendencies in us. This was just a diversion on this ungodly point of laziness. Laziness is ungodly. Yeah, because in the spiritual world, the souls, the devotees, they are not lazy. It's not that the gopis say, oh, tonight I don't want to go into the forest, Oh no, Krishna's flute. He says, the others will go. He will not miss me. The others, they will go, Sometimes we think, the others will do, They will not miss me. I will sleep today, It's all, every night, every night Rasa Leela, every night garlands, this and that. And I have to relax, Krishna, come on, give me a break. There's so many gopis. Let the others do it. She's not doing it anyway. Go. I stay home and watch TV. Watch a little bit, YouTube and, Mother Yashoda thinks, every day run after this boy, who steals the milk. Every day, I need a break, Yeah. No, they are all eager and enthusiastic to be with Krishna. Of course, they are spontaneous, they are purified, it's a real pleasure for them. And that's the point, we are sadhakas, no? We have to fight with our lower tendencies, right? We are not purified. When we are purified, definitely, you will work as the great devotees, tirelessly engaged in, you can never get tired from devotional service. So, because we are not so pure, because we are in the false ego and all that, conditioned. Yeah. So, this is, I think, the practical point. Search for the ungodly qualities in you. Search for and this we call anartha, right? This is the Sanskrit term, is anartha, which means that what has no value. Yeah, anartha. Artha means like value, and anartha has no value. Search for your anarthas. What is my biggest anartha right now? And we have many anarthas. And sometimes I'm super inspired to search my anarthas, and then I make a list of all these anarthas which are really bothering me. And then I try to, because this is my latest realization, that I put all these anarthas, and then I try to work on them, and I make a list every day. Could I defeat this anartha to some degree or not? Was I doing it or not doing it? Depends on the anartha. The anarthas which you should avoid, and the anarthas which you should compensate with an activity. Or let's say like this, to develop a new habit, either the habit is something you do or you don't do. Like if you do something what is a bad habit, like criticizing, you're always criticizing others, you have a critical mind, then you work on that and you don't do it. Yeah? And if there's an anartha or some bad quality, bad habit that you not champ your rounds every day, okay, there's some positive habit you have to develop. Huh? So positive habits or negative habits, you have to see. Overcome negative habits or develop positive habits. And sometimes they go hand in hand. And then I make this huge list and I work on them and I have the stats and I have my app, my habit app, right? You have some habit apps and then you track how much of this and that. And sometimes then it gets simply too much. And then, oh, this is too much. And okay, nothing of all that and just be as you are. Yeah. So I figured, then relax, just relax. It's too much. So I figured, okay, I might have a long list of all these habits I want to develop, but I need to start with some at a time and just take one and develop that. And when this is developed, take the other. So this is now my strategy, new strategy. And if you keep this habit anyway for 3, 4 months, 6 months, or a year, then anyway you have developed it. Then it's there, right? And then you can take the next, and then the next. So think about a certain habit or bad quality, or anartha as we call it, what is really bothering you. And think about, okay, this should be now my mission to overcome that. And it might be some laziness, some unstrictness, some bad thinking, or other things we might do, space out, online space out, waste time online, this and that. Fall into the shorts algorithm. You ever fell into the shorts algorithm? This is actually crazy. Because sometimes I fell into the shorts algorithm and I thought, my God, I have to stop that. I made that point. I will not watch any shorts anymore. I will not watch any shorts anymore. Yes. Neither on Facebook or on... all of them have it now. Yeah. And actually yesterday, I thought, okay, this looks like an interesting short. I just watched this interesting short. Because just this interesting short. And I fell into the shorts algorithm. Because the next one was also interesting. The next one was also interesting. The next one. And suddenly, 10 minutes wait. I again fell into the shorts algorithm. Okay, don't watch any shorts. You cannot handle it. They suck you in. Yeah? They suck you in. So certain things we should be aware, yeah, and not and really try to overcome. Yeah. So think about some certain things. Have a list. And this is very good if you are critical about yourself and see, actually, there's so many things I would like to change. There are so many things I would like to overcome. But I cannot do everything at once. It's not possible. So start with something. This is my mission now, to do that. And think about it and work on it and hear kata about it or speak with devotees about it and really make it a mission. This is now my mission, to change that. I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to uplift myself, become a better person, become a better devotee. Yeah? And this works. This really works. In that sense, actually, we can change anything. Everything we can change. Nothing you cannot change. These habits are so powerful. Yeah? Yeah? So it needs this desire. Find your first enemy and fight him. Yeah? And it's great. It feels really good if you change, right? Anyway, we changed a lot already. Now we all sit here so godly and saintly. Okay, some of you have always been like that, but not everyone, because now I'm working on a new video, and today in the morning I had a good idea. It will be a quite, a little autobiographical video, because we went to this concert last week on Monday. There was a concert in Munich of Shelter. And interviewed the devotees, and I went there. I made a little video, and I will cut everything together. Because they were devotees. They were not just any regular hardcore metal band. We are not interested in hardcore metal bands, but they were devotees. They are still devotees, and they had lots of impact in their time in the scene. They met lots of devotees. Actually amazing. Amazing how many devotees came to this band. And now it was 30 years since they released this one album they made, which was like their bestseller. So they went on this tour now, worldwide tour, and they were in Munich, so we went there too. So I will make a video out of this. And yeah, so and then I had this idea to speak about the whole... Anyways, this is another point. Let's speak about this band. This is more interesting. So yeah, this band is called Shelter. And when we went to this concert, it was in Munich, some club thing, and there were so many people. There were so many people. And there was one big line. And I wondered, wow, so many people are interested in Shelter, because it's kind of underground. It's not so known. And especially now, it was in one time a little bit more mainstream in the 90s. Now, who knows Shelter, right? And all these kids were like real kids. And of course, they were not there for Shelter. There was a parallel, some other concert of some other band. And I forgot the name of the band. I never heard about this anyway. And then we went into this small hall thing where there was the concert. And one guy turned around during the concert, and there was some pre-band and another band and a Shelter. And he had a big beard and was tattooed all over the face, and turned around to me and said, "Oh, I like your videos. I watch your YouTube channel. This is great." I said, "Oh, thank you. Nice." Okay. And he had a T-shirt with Prabhupada. On the back, Prabhupada, it was a Prabhupada marathon T-shirt from like 10 years ago or something. We had this Prabhupada marathon T-shirts and the PBT logo and a beer bottle. He was drinking his beer then. And many of them were like this, neck beats and beat bags and Shelter. Yeah. And they all know the lyrics. They were singing all along, and then some stage diving and then bumping and like hardcore concert. So interesting mix. And they made it that there are, in their time, so many devotees. There's an interesting medium how to bring people to Krishna consciousness. And they were chanting Hare Krishna on stage. Anyway, if you want to watch my video, then when it's done, you will see this. On one point, one devotee was there, because it's quite heavy music, right? This hardcore punk music. And then one point it was silent, then he started singing, Samsara Dava Nalalida Loka. And all these people chanted, Samsara Dava. They knew it. It was very funny, you know. So, and Hare Krishna was singing Hare Krishna. And yeah. Anyway, so something I wanted to say actually about making videos and bands and this and that. Anyway. Okay, so the point is, find your qualities, work on yourself, make a plan, and it will work out and you can overcome all these tendencies. Good. Any questions? Any? Yeah?
So, and one question about the bad habits. So, I try to overcome something, but in a few weeks.
Oh, sorry, one thing. Sorry. Because recently, either I get older, or I don't know what. Because sometimes, and it didn't happen in the past really, because I always could keep my train of thoughts, it said, die rote Linie. And sometimes, 2 times during this lecture, I've lost it, and then I'm really fried with myself. How can I lose it? There was a point. And now I got my point back, and I won't. Because when I said this, why I went into making this video, the point I wanted to make is now we are all saintly and godly and sitting here, and some were always like this. Some were born more or less in the spiritual background, but many of us were not. And we changed already so much, right? We gave up so many things, and this is why I was thinking about this video, because I wanted to reflect how what music I was listening before and how I went into Shelter, and then I want to connect this autobiographical thing. And then I was thinking, man, amazing how much I changed in this life, how different I'm living now, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, and what I'm not doing anymore. Things I was doing before, and so so much is possible. We can change so much. Yeah. So this was just the thing. Now we are already so much reformed, but now the reform should not stop. Oh, now we reached it. We should be always working on ourselves and become pure. Okay.
Okay, but sometimes I have a problem with my, for example, bad habits. When I try to overcome it, then I feel that this desire to fulfill these bad habits become more and more and when I already think, okay, I overcome it, actually in a few weeks I come back at the stage where I was before. But yes. Can you recommend something?
Yeah, the thing is that in the beginning it's difficult, then it becomes easy, but we should never think it's done. We should be always alert and be prepared for the challenging times. So you have to understand, we are all addicts. We are all sense gratifiers. The conditioned soul is a sense gratifier. It always wants to gratify the senses. It's always looking out, how can I get more pleasure, how can I enjoy more, this and that. And we have to be always alert for the next attack of our mind, which wants this or that. And we have to be prepared. So there should be a plan. When my mind starts craving again for things which I actually don't want, which I will regret if I do it, I will regret if I've done it. I will not be happy during my sense gratification. I will feel, oh, this relief, this is great, this is wonderful. But afterwards, I will really be upset with myself. Why was I again so weak? And you will have ein schlechtes Gewissen, bad conscience, and you will not feel good. So we have to be prepared for the challenging times. Because most of the time, especially when we are engaged in devotional service and with devotees, there's no problem, everything is fine. But there are certain moments when we are somehow or other not engaged with some positive activity, then the mind might remind us of whatever it wants, and then it will become difficult. And this is why there's this saying, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. An idle mind, a mind which is not engaged in a positive way, is the devil's workshop. This is where the devil, thinks how to do this and that. So we have to be engaged, and Krishna consciousness itself is actually a very good way to be engaged, but sometimes it's not enough or it doesn't work enough, so we have to be also alert. Okay, anytime I can be reminded of my lower interests, and then starts the whole process of thinking, feeling, willing. At first we think, and we think either because we are reminded, or we might become reminded by ourselves or reminded from the outside world, right? Sometimes it's just a remembrance and you go into that, or sometimes it's something you see in the outside world which starts your reminiscence and reminds you. And then you think about it, right? You're a brahmachari or you're brahmacharini or a devotee in general, and suddenly comes this remembrance of your ex-girlfriend, and oh yeah, how's she doing? And maybe she's doing this and that, or you see a picture on your phone or something. Oh, she's so beautiful, and you start thinking about it, and you remember the good times we had, or when we went to this park, or in this holiday, or this and that, or when we were laughing together, and you think about all that. And that might not be a problem, but the thing is, then you start to feel it. Because thinking, feeling, and then you feel it. Oh, it was so great and wonderful, and you feel sad that you're not with her anymore, and why is she not here? And you start to feel so sad, and you cry, and it's so terrible. And then thinking, feeling, willing. Then comes the will. I want her back. I want to call her. I want to write an email to her, and then you start doing, right? But everything starts with this thinking. This uncontrolled mind, very soon, no, I don't want to think about her anymore. She's now with this other guy anyways, or married already. Depends how much time. Or anyway, it was not a good relationship, or anyway, I want to be now a devotee, or anyway, I don't want this actually. When I rationally think about it, I don't want that. I only want this out of sentimental reasons, because it feels good. But it isn't good. Because that what feels good is often not good. If that what feels good would be good, we all would take crystal meth and heroin all day long. Because when you do that, you feel really good. This is why these heavy drugs are used so often. It's not because they are terrible. No, they give you extremely good feeling. Extremely good. But they are, as we know, not good. So, that what feels good for the mind, for the senses, very often is not good. And this is why sense gratification should be dealt with very carefully. We cannot stop sense gratification. We are too much used to it. We have a body, it needs sense gratification. But if we practice or enjoy sense gratification in a regulated, in a sattvic way, then it will not degrade us, but we will become purified from it and actually become free from it. So, sense gratification should be done in a proper way, which is not dragging us down. Yeah? And that means, Krishna consciousness itself, there are lots of things for sense gratification, like prasadam or even kirtan, yeah? But it's very spiritual. It might not always be enough. No? So that's why there is also the grihastha ashram, yeah? Which is very powerful, because it says, yes, you have your sense gratification, have your freedom, have your money, have your wife, have your children, have your emotional experience, but it's in the setting of family life and marriage. And all religions have that regulation of marriage. And that's why they call it sacred. It's sacred. Der heilige Bund der Ehe, they call it in German. Der heilige Bund der Ehe. Yeah, because it's true. It gives us the proper and way how to do our thing when we are still interested in a more not so spiritual thing, so to say, not just in Hare Krishna, meditating or study scripture. Who can do that? So okay, yeah, there's some license, but it's only in this regulation. And then when you go through that, have your sense enjoyment and have your family life, and you will see you will become free from it with time. And the time goes on, then you're really free of it. Yeah? But you don't degrade yourself through uncontrolled sense gratification. Do whatever I like. Yes, eat this, enjoy that, take this, that, yeah. Run after this girl, then after this girl, go here and go there. Yeah, then you become degraded. Actually, this is what happens with people if they are not regulated. They become degraded and actually crazy also. Yeah, because you cannot handle that. Cannot handle that. Right. Take any drug, any sex, any party, any this, that. Yeah. Thinking, feeling, willing. So that means when you start thinking, you know, oh, when I keep on thinking, it will go into this direction, and then I will do it, and then I will regret it. So control the mind. You have to start immediately. That's why Bhagavad Gita speaks about this. Buddhir, what is it called? What is the verse? Bandur atmatmanastasya yenatma vatmanachitaha anatmanastu shatrute vatetat meva shatruvat. For those who control the mind becomes their friend. But he who cannot control the mind is his greatest enemy. Shatru means enemy. So the greatest enemy is not somewhere in North Korea, right? Or some, whatever enemy. No, the enemy is here. It's your own mind when it's not controlled.
But to control the mind is more difficult than control the wind.
Yeah, that's true. Krishna Arjuna says to control the mind is more difficult than to control the wind. But what does Krishna say in the next verse? Yes, difficult, but possible through proper regulation and practice. This is what we do. Proper regulation and practice, and then we'll learn it. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Yes. First in the back, and then you.
I don't mind if you want to make your question first. I have just one reflection on.
Yeah, it's okay.
Just reflection on way the religions are misused for cruel political ambitions. That like personally, I cannot say that the Islam is per se like a religion of the sword, because from that culture came such a beautiful music, such a beautiful poetry, such a beautiful art, which is deeply connected to the deep love for God. And in that culture, people greet each other salam, which means peace. And they say salam alaikum, peace to all. So there is only that when it's misused, then it's become the religion of the sword, as well as Christianity as well. I mean, the Jesus died on the cross for all beings, you know, and then they take the same cross and kill the other people. Yeah. So this is just misusing of the one of postulate of Catholics is like treat your neighbor like you're treating yourself. So if they truly follow, then it's like don't kill. It's a deadly sin, you know. So it's just and I find this is the biggest sin against humanity, to use our deepest religious feelings for harming the others.
Yeah, thank you. No, definitely, I didn't want to say that they are bad, completely bad. Religions are completely bad. But because in Kali Yuga, as you say, we are so prone to misuse, and that we even misuse religion. And Islam is not only a religion of the sword, definitely not. It has also very good things, as you mentioned. But some religions have more potential for being misused and some have less. Because even Hinduism or Vaishnavism can be misused. Maybe not in such a gross way, but also in some psychological, cultish way, definitely. Because everything can be misused. And some religions, as I say, have more potential because they just have more statements like this, like kill the unbelievers or this or that, some religions like this, than other religions. But definitely every religion has a huge potential for to develop God consciousness, definitely. Okay.
I was gonna say the same thing. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
The whole same thing.
I'm a Muslim person myself, so it wasn't really pleasant to hear someone say something like that about your religion.
Yeah, for sure it's not pleasant because you identify with it, but you have to admit also that there are tendencies in your religion and in any religion which can get misused.
I know, yes.
And there are many people who misuse it.
Yes.
Right?
And I totally agree when you say that people are messing up the religion. It's correct. It's the people, not the religion. That's
No, the religion itself is for become God conscious. But people are so degraded that misuses. So in the end, this is what I want to say. Right. And in that sense, any religion can be a religion of the sword. Either of the physical or just also another oppressive way. But it shouldn't be. And it's not meant like this. Okay, any other question? Yes? Okay, Narayani. And then we try to make the question short, and I'll make the question also short.
Okay, so regarding the topic of relaxation, because I was thinking, you were saying it's that we are not attached or we don't like our service, but sometimes I think, I would like to have, like for example, a day off so I can read more and I can paint deities, I can do other services. Then is it bad because I'm not so attached to my service that I want to be doing it the whole time and I want to do other things?
We have to be engaged in a service according to our nature. And when this is happening, then you're happy and you can do it all the time and you're never tired. But very often, especially here in the temple, we do services which are not according to our nature, which is not necessarily bad, but there should be definitely a balance. If we only do service which is not according to our nature, it will not work out in the long run. So it means there should be a balance. Some service I can do which is not according to my nature, but it has to be done, and it's fine for me, because I have enough time for doing service which is according to my nature, which fulfills me. Okay, and Jeremias?
Thank you. Yeah, back to the misuse of religion topic. I also noticed that in the Vedic literature that we heard about now, for me in the last 2 weeks, for many others in the last few years, there are of course very different topics. I mean, it's a huge literature, there's so many topics in there. And I noticed that there were also topics, I think, that could be misused, just like in Islam and in Christianity. Like, for example, when Krishna authorizes killing. You know, it's if someone has maybe some psychotic tendencies, he could think that, oh, Krishna talked to me and he authorized that I kill this person. And my question is whether it maybe is a good thing to think about which aspects of the literature we want to preach more and which aspects maybe we don't completely ignore, but we may not emphasize them as much because they could potentially be misused. Like, for example, Krishna authorizing certain killings and others not.
No, perfect. So that what you said is right. And when I criticized more the Abrahamic traditions now, Christianity and Islam, I don't mean that Hinduism or Vedic knowledge cannot be misused. There are lots of ways to do that. And India is known for the caste system, which was super oppressive and not what it was meant to be. So that's the first thing. Definitely, there's also lots of fanaticism can be understood from that too. And that's what you say, definitely. Nowadays, in our preaching, when we want to communicate Krishna consciousness, definitely we have to see what is just also more relevant, right? What is more relevant, important. We don't want to paint it perfect in neglecting something, but definitely we want to emphasize that what is simply more relevant and spiritual. And concerning the killing, that can be misunderstood completely. Yeah, God, Krishna said kill, yeah. But I quote Ramananda actually when he says, if Arjuna would have been a baker, Krishna would have told him, get up early morning, go in the bakery and bake bread. The point was not the killing. The point was fulfill your duty. And Arjuna was a soldier and was standing on the battlefield. And his duty was to fight and kill. But he was not killing whimsical. He was only fighting with those who were also willing to fight. He was fighting with other Kshatriyas. He was not going into the town and killing civilians and all that. It was very regulated on the battlefield, and only soldiers were there. And this was their honorable duty in this situation. And it's an extreme situation. It's an exceptional situation. It's not what every day happens. But the point of Krishna is that also that even if your duty is very difficult, you still have to do it. Yeah. And for the baker to get up in the morning every day is also difficult. So it's more fulfill your duty and not necessarily which duty. Yeah. And in this situation, the duty was that. Yeah. This was just specific to this example. But yeah, definitely, we should be all. And that's why normally you have a very pure, saintly, learned person from whom you learn the Vedic knowledge. Actually, the Vedic knowledge should not be learned without a teacher, because it can get misunderstood and you cannot ask questions. And this is a big problem also. And right from the beginning, it's always said, learn the Shastra from a teacher, right? Who's a real teacher. And then this will not happen, actually. Always can happen, but the chances are way lower. Yeah? Yeah, thank you for your question. It was very good. Thank you for all your questions and your input. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Ich wollte gar nicht hierher fahren vor dem Festival jetzt. Aber gestern habe ich das Video gesehen von Herrn Endres, ich weiß nicht, was der spirituelle Name ist. Wieder Sarah. Was? Wieder Sarah. Schon wieder? Endres, ja. So, dann habe ich verwechselt. Der, was gestern auf Nacht den Vortrag gehalten hat.